Hi guys, welcome to Deep Diver. In this video, we will discuss one more concept related to a struct, which is embedding. Let me quickly add the files and folders required for this. So this is my Golang course, and here I will add one more folder 13 underscore embedding, and here we will add one more file embedding.go. So let me add the package main and the function main as well here. Now we are good to go. In the introductory video of a struct, we have discussed a nested struct where this address struct was nested inside this user struct, right? Let me copy this code and paste it in this embedding.go file. Let me uncomment this as well. So here what we are doing? So here we are nesting this address struct inside this user struct. So we will talk about embedding in a while. Now let us create the variables for both this address and user. So first we will create for address, so address 1 colon equal address. It has city we will pass as Ranchi, and then state we will pass as Bihar. So before 2000 Ranchi was in Bihar only. Now let me create the variable for the user as well. User1 user, let us keep the name as Ravi. Then we have age, then we have email. Let us keep at ravi@xyz.com. Then we have is married. Let me keep it as false. And at last we have address. So we will pass this address one which we created to this address field. Okay. Now let us print this user one. So fmt.println user1. Okay. Now let us print the city. User1 city is, how we can print the user1 city? We need to do it like this: user1 dot address dot city. Similarly, we want to print the user1 state as well. User1 state, how we can do this? User1 dot address dot state, right? Now let us say I want to introduce a behavior to this address struct. By behavior here I mean the method. So here we need to use the address receiver, and here we'll have a function called change state. So here we want to change the state of this address. So it will expect a new state input parameter which will be of type string. Okay. Now my question to you is whether we should use value receiver or pointer receiver. As we have discussed in the past, when we use value receiver, a copy of this address struct will get passed and any modification will not affect the original address. So that's why we will have to have pointer receiver here. And now we can change the state using a.state is equal to new state. Now let me go to the main function. Let us say we want to call this change state function. How we can do that? We can do it like this: user1 dot address dot change state. Let us say Jharkhand, as Ranchi was moved later to Jharkhand. Okay. Now after this, let us print user1 state. How we can get that? User1 dot address dot state. Okay. Now let us run this code. Open terminal, change the folder to 13 underscore embedding, clear it. Now run using go run command, go run embedding.go. So here you can see user1 has printed with all the information, and initially user1 city is Ranchi and user1 state is Bihar. Now we are calling the method on line number 39, which is basically changing the state to Jharkhand. So user1 state has changed to Jharkhand. Now let us say to access this city inside this address which is inside this user, we don't want to go through two labels, but we want to access the city like this, user1.city. Similarly, for a state, we don't want to go like two levels, first user1, then address, then state. We want to access it directly on user1, user1.state like this. Similarly, for this method call, we want to do it like this, user1.changeState directly. Okay, so that's where embedding comes into picture. When we want to use the fields and the method inside a nested struct directly, we use embedding. So how we can change this nested struct into embedding? So that is very simple. Just remove this address field. So now this address has been embedded into this user. So this is not nesting. Okay, this is called embedding. When we remove this field from here, from nested struct, it became embedding. Okay, so let me embed address into this user. Now if you see here, we are getting compile time error because user has no field or method address. Okay, so this is because we have removed the address field from user. So how we can fix this? We have removed the address field, but this address is embedded into this user directly. So instead of this address starting with a small a, we can replace with a capital A and it will work fine. Okay, so I will remove at all the places and you will see it is working fine. So it is giving an error at line number 33. So here also, as we have removed this address field, we need to use the address starting with a capital A, which is basically our struct name. So now if I run this code again, it should work fine. Yes, it worked fine. Okay, but here our requirement is not yet fulfilled. What we wanted was we could directly access the fields and the methods inside this address. So let us get rid of this address from this. Will it work? Remove from here. Let us remove from here as well. Okay, let us remove from this print statement as well. So if I run this code again, if you see here, it is working as expected, right? User one city is getting printed, one state is getting printed, and we are calling this method change state on user one directly, which is finally printing the changed state, which is now Jharkhand. Okay, so this is how embedding works. Okay, we did just one thing, we removed the field name from here, right, and it converted this nested struct into embedding. Now let me tell you one important thing. Let us print this address one state. Okay, and this time we will not go through the user, we will directly print using this address one. If I run this code again, you will notice here user one state is changed to Jharkhand, but address one state is still Bihar. Why is that so? So what happened is this address one was created, and when we pass this address one here on line number 33, what happened? A copy of this address one was created and that was attached to this user one. So the modification we did using this change state method was applied on the copy it passed to this user one, not to the original address one. So what if I want to change this address one state as well? So then we will need to use embedded pointer. How? We just need to put a star just before this address. Okay. Now it is giving compilation error, cannot use address 1 as a star address. So what we need to pass here? Here we need to pass ampersand of address 1, which is basically the address. And now if I run this code again, you will see that address 1 state and the user 1 state has both having the same value. So here you see user 1 state is Jharkhand as well as address 1 state is Jharkhand. So we use this embedded pointer whenever there is a huge struct and we don't want to create the copy of this because creating copy is expensive. Now what if I ask you what is difference between nested struct and embedding? So nested struct and embedding. If you see here we have embedded this address inside this user, and in case of nested struct we had something like this, right? In both the cases we are using the composition. By composition I mean the has a relationship. In both the cases user has the address, right? So both nested struct and embedding provides composition, and this embedding along with composition provides something extra, which is field promotion and method promotion. So when we used embedding, we were able to access even the fields inside the address directly on user 1 only. Similarly, for this change state method, we were able to call it on user 1 only instead of calling it like this user1.address.change state. So embedding provides composition plus field and method promotion, but nested struct only provides the composition. Now let us discuss one last thing. So for this user struct, let us say I want to have a method, and the same method I want to create on this address struct as well. So let us add a method on this user. So I will use func, then value receiver here, user. I will name this method as print details. Okay, and here what we want to do is just print every field inside this user. Okay, so I have added a printf statement where I am just printing the every field. Now the same method I want on this address as well. So I will copy paste this here, but here instead of user we want the address receiver, and here we will just print whatever it is inside this address. So fmt.printf city, and then percentage, then state percentage, then state percentage will give a dot city and a dot state. Let us introduce a new line as well here. We'll add new line in this method as well. So our methods are ready, both having the same signature, right? One is defined on user and one is defined on address. Now if I go to my main function and call like this user1 dot print details, now which function do you think will get called? Let us find out. So go run embedding.go, and you can see the print details, basically this one is getting called because here we are printing everything, right? City, state, everything we are printing, right? So in embedding, whenever we define the same method on the outer struct and the inner struct, and we will try to call it like this, which method will be called? The method defined on the outer struct, right? So what if I want to call the print details of this address? How we can do that? Then we will have to do it in the older way. User1 dot address dot print details, and this will execute the method defined on this address, which is this one. So this will only print city and state. Let us confirm this. I will clear this and run this code again. Here you can see for this second method call we have city and state only printed, which is corresponding to this method, right? So that's it for this video. See you in the next one.